Welcome to this week's update, which I've amusingly titled Last of the Landsknechts, because I've finished painting my Landsknechts, except I haven't. More on that later. Let's start with the Landsknechts as they're the main focus of this week's painting. Originally, these were going to be one big group split into two colour schemes like my first set I did with a single leader. I've got 6 with swords and 6 shooty ones basically, and where's he gone? This guy was going to be their leader and he was going to be painted in both colour schemes. But as it turned out, I started with the sword ones and I decided to do them red, white and blue because I know reasons, right? I started with them because they are the most complex. With the drums and the flags, they were going to take longest, and so I got this guy and I started painting him. There we go. Red and white and blue, but there just wasn't enough space on him to get the other colour scheme. I couldn't really fit it on, so I just did him in red, white and blue. So he joined them and he became their commander, which left the other ones, let's use you because you're quite nice. So these guys, sticking with a sort of flag motif, I did in red, yellow and black, sort of German look, and so they've ended up without a commander, but that's okay because I've ordered one final Games Workshop Empire model to be their commander. I've ordered an engineer with a huge rifle to be their leader, so when he arrives I'll get him done, and then I'll have these two groups of 7 each, the other two groups of 6 with a single commander, and the 5-man gun and crew will be my entire little skirmish force for these guys, and I'm very happy with them, really. Apart from the flag, not a fan of cast metal flags. Horrible things. What a naff idea. I did it red and white and I was thinking of where to put the blue, and I thought, you know what, I just can't be bothered, so I've left it off. It's just a red and white blank flag. I was going to put a decal on it as well, but I just no. So there we go. So that's the last of those. So here are the extras. I intersperse the painting of the Empire figures, which were very colourful and time consuming, with these much simpler miniatures, so I could feel like I was getting something done. For this segment, one of my cats, Tonkatsu, has joined me, and she will be clawing the chair next to me apart in her impersonation of a owlbear. Okay, so apologies if you pick up her noises. Since she's here, let's start with the owlbears. These are 2 plastic ones. The one on the left is a Reaper Bones Black. Whoops. There we go. Maybe either well fed or maybe needs to go to the gym. A bit like me, really. Okay, so Reaper Bones Black, and this one is the unpainted D&D WizKids one. As you can see, I'm going to put them back because they're quite heavy being owlbears. As you can see, I've painted them as Nordic owlbears with white heads and of course the obligatory red talons. They match my other 2 owlbears now, so I've got 4 which is enough for any party of adventurers. I love owlbears because they're such stupid creatures. They're just great. They can be really scary and ferocious if you want them to be, or they can be ludicrous comedy creatures. And your players can just laugh at them. The thought of things this big perched on branches just cracks me up. Alright, so owlbears. As well as the owlbears, done this set of 4 mummies. These are 40mm mummies, so they're not designed to be the same scale as all the other miniatures. They're from the... he's not... there he is. They're from the Graven Images range, sculpted by Jim Bowen, and let's compare him to the vampire, and you can see, hopefully, line those up where you can see them. They tower over standard miniatures, which makes them impressive and scarier to my mind. I don't know if any of you have seen Dawn of the Mummy. Some really, really horrendous cannibal mummy film, but its one redeeming feature is it has this really tall guy playing the mummy, and he looks just great as he looms over his victims. So I'd go for tall mummies. These 40mm ones, lovely, full of character, and very quick to paint because the dry brushing on the wraps and then just a bit of flesh. I did 4 colours of brown for the flesh. The camera hates them, doesn't it? It's me, isn't it? There we go. Nice, lovely figures. By the late Jim Bowen. It's a shame we won't be having any more of his stuff. Just love his miniatures. Alright, so 4 mummies. Lovely. And then the vampires. So we've already seen this guy. This is from Lucid Eye. He reminds me of an old Grenadier miniature I used to have before he became too small to use, of a Nosferatu vampire with a wonderful sweeping cloak. There was no body details visible, just the cloak. Wonderful, evocative figure. Sadly, looks like a silly little dwarf vampire next to today's figures. So I don't know what happened to him. He's long gone. So now I've got him back in this other form, and next to him, this is a Reaper Bones sort of feral vampire. I did blood. I don't usually do blood on miniatures, but it seemed there was nothing much else to do with him. I wanted him maybe a bit paler, but he'll do nicely. So 2 versions of a vampire, probably the same vampire in different guises, and that rounded out the week. So what was that, for a total of 13, 17, 19, 21? No, that's not enough. There's more somewhere. I'm going to count them. No, that's 21. Well, maybe I left some inside. Anyway, okay, so let's say 21. Not bad for a week. It's been half-term week for me, so I've been away from work, but I'll go back tomorrow. See how much I get done next week. So as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.